All right, let's dive into something you may not have thought about. What makes a mature man truly attractive? Here's the thing. Attractiveness isn't just about surface-level features, nor is it something that fades with age. In fact, as you grow older, there's a different kind of appeal that starts to emerge, one that's often understated, yet incredibly powerful. It's made up of subtle cues and qualities that go way beyond traditional looks, and these qualities can make someone naturally magnetic in a way that feels effortless. These aren't the loud, flashy traits you see plastered all over social media or in dating advice columns. Instead, they're subtle, almost invisible clues that set you apart and make a lasting impression. We're going to talk about 8 of these subtle signs. Some of them are so quiet, you might not even realize you're giving them off. But make no mistake, they get noticed. These qualities communicate things like confidence, depth, and a kind of refined self-assuredness that only comes with time and experience. Whether you're aware of them or not, if you embody these traits, you're likely more attractive than you think, and people around you are picking up on it. What's even more powerful, these cues work regardless of age differences, making you appealing across a wide range of social situations and relationships. So, if you're ready to dive deeper than the usual advice, get ready. This isn't about changing who you are or putting on a show. It's about recognizing, refining, and amplifying the subtle qualities you already possess. The ones that hint at your depth, maturity, and natural magnetism. Let's explore these 8 powerful yet understated clues that make you a genuinely attractive man. 1. You understand the power of pauses and stillness. There's something profoundly magnetic about a man who doesn't rush to fill every moment with words or movement. The ability to pause, to let a moment breathe, is a trait that not only exudes maturity but draws others in subtly and powerfully. Think about the effect that stillness has in a room. When someone speaks slowly, deliberately, allowing space for their words to land, it creates an almost hypnotic effect. This ability to embrace pauses and stillness is rare. But when a man masters it, he becomes memorable without effort. Let's break it down. Pauses in conversation aren't about trying to appear mysterious or aloof. They're about communicating that you're fully engaged, present, and comfortable enough with yourself to avoid the need to rush. When you hold eye contact just a fraction longer before replying, or take a moment to consider your response, it gives people a sense that you're genuinely thoughtful and listening, rather than simply reacting. This presence is both calming and commanding, sending an unspoken message that you're someone who doesn't feel pressured by social cues to hurry or please. Instead, you own your time and space, qualities that are endlessly appealing. Practically, you can develop this by observing your interactions. The next time you're in conversation, resist the urge to jump in immediately with your thoughts or to fill every silence. Let a beat pass. Notice how people lean in, how the atmosphere changes. Practice this kind of stillness in different settings, whether you're meeting someone new, networking, or with friends. By intentionally cultivating this habit, you'll not only come across as confident and mature, but you'll also develop a deeper sense of internal calm, a quality that others will be naturally drawn to. 2. You're attentive to details others overlook. One of the most attractive qualities a mature man can embody is the ability to notice and remember the small things, those subtle details that often slip past most people. This attention to detail isn't about superficial compliments or flattery. It's about genuinely listening, observing, and showing others that they matter to you in ways they may not even expect. Think about how powerful it feels when someone remembers something you said in passing or picks up on a preference you didn't even consciously share. It creates a feeling of connection and being valued that's deeply impactful. When you notice these small things, whether it's remembering that someone mentioned a specific passion, hobby or preference, or even just picking up on their mood when it changes slightly, you set yourself apart. This level of attention and awareness communicates that you're genuinely engaged and truly present with them. And let's be honest, in a world where people are so often preoccupied with their own lives, this kind of attentiveness is rare and unforgettable. Practically, you can start applying this by really listening to what people say and mentally taking note of those little details. You don't have to go overboard or be intrusive, but rather make it a habit to listen actively without distraction. When you follow up on something someone shared, like asking how their project went, or if they ever got around to reading that book they mentioned, you show that you cared enough to remember. This quality of attentiveness not only deepens your connections with others, but also creates a sense of trust and respect. When people feel truly seen, they naturally gravitate toward you because you've given them a rare experience. They know they matter to you, and that is powerful. 3. You display a natural ease in different environments. One of the most subtle yet profoundly attractive qualities of a mature man is his ability to move through different social environments with a natural, unforced ease. This isn't about being the loudest person in the room or trying to steal the spotlight. It's about adapting to the energy and needs of each situation without losing your sense of self. This kind of quiet adaptability shows that you're confident in who you are, regardless of who's around you or what kind of setting you're in. Whether you're at a formal dinner, a casual get-together with friends, or even a high-energy event, your ease sends a clear message. You're comfortable in your own skin, and you don't need to mold yourself to fit in. This makes others feel at ease around you too, and that's a magnetic quality. To cultivate this, start by becoming more aware of your own energy and how it affects others. Pay attention to the way people respond to your presence. Are you creating a welcoming environment? Are you allowing others to feel comfortable? Or are you projecting tension or unease? Instead of forcing yourself to perform in social situations, let yourself flow with what feels natural and authentic in each setting. Part of this ease also comes from genuinely appreciating the diversity of experiences different environments bring, seeing them as opportunities rather than challenges. So, if you find yourself at a networking event, don't stress about standing out. Instead, focus on being fully present, on observing, listening, and engaging in ways that feel authentic. When you don't feel the need to adapt your personality, you'll naturally command attention simply by being you, and people will sense and be drawn to that calm, steady presence. This ease, this ability to navigate any situation without losing your center, is one of the most subtle yet deeply attractive qualities you can have. It's confidence in its most refined form. 4. You prioritize curiosity over authority. One of the most appealing qualities of a mature, attractive man is his ability to prioritize curiosity over authority. Many people mistakenly think they need to project their knowledge or expertise to gain respect, but true maturity is often shown by a willingness to ask questions and explore rather than always needing to assert or lead. This kind of curiosity is incredibly magnetic because it shows you're open-minded, humble, and genuinely interested in learning from others. Instead of trying to impress people with your knowledge, You ask thoughtful questions that encourage them to share their experiences and perspectives. This approach not only shows that you're secure in who you are, but also builds trust and rapport quickly. People feel valued and respected in your presence, and that's something they won't forget. To cultivate this, start by actively listening and asking questions that go beyond surface level. For instance, if someone shares a new perspective on a topic, instead of jumping in with your own opinion, pause and show genuine interest by asking, "What led you to that conclusion?" Or, "How did you get started with that?" This kind of curiosity can deepen conversations and reveal layers of insight you wouldn't have discovered otherwise. By focusing on what others have to say, you're not only expanding your own knowledge, but also allowing them to feel understood and validated, which creates a lasting impression. The secret here is to make curiosity your default setting, not just a strategy. Embrace it as a natural part of your interactions. With time, this becomes second nature, and people will find themselves drawn to you, not because you're asserting yourself as the most knowledgeable in the room, but because you bring out the best in others. This quiet confidence in letting curiosity lead the way is a mark of true maturity and a trait that keeps people coming back to you, intrigued, engaged, and eager to connect. 5. You're selectively generous. Generosity is one of the most universally admired qualities, but in a mature, attractive man, it's not just about giving freely, it's about giving wisely. Selective generosity, or knowing when and how much to give without broadcasting it, communicates a deep sense of self-awareness and balance. This means you're thoughtful in your acts of kindness, whether it's with your time, resources, or energy, and you're not giving just to seek validation or to appear generous. Instead, you understand the power of balanced generosity, showing you're there when it counts and willing to help in meaningful ways, but you also respect your own boundaries. This kind of generosity isn't flashy, yet it's impactful because people notice it. They see that you don't give to everyone indiscriminately, but when you do, it's genuine and from the heart. This creates a lasting sense of respect and admiration. To practice this, start by paying close attention to where you're most needed or where your contribution would be most appreciated. Being selectively generous means that instead of spreading yourself too thin, you channel your generosity into areas or relationships where it can truly make a difference. For example, if a friend or colleague is facing a tough time, being there for them by listening attentively, offering a well-timed favor, or helping them out practically without expecting anything in return shows depth. It's not about showering them with things, it's about providing support in a way that feels natural and sincere, showing them they're not alone. You don't have to announce or display these acts. In fact, the most powerful gestures are often the quiet ones that speak volumes without fanfare. Over time, people will come to associate you with reliability and thoughtfulness, knowing you're someone who genuinely cares but doesn't overextend himself to please everyone. This selective approach communicates that your time and attention are valuable, and you choose to invest them where they can truly make an impact. And let's be honest, that quiet kind of strength of being generous when it matters most is something people are naturally drawn to. It builds respect, trust, and admiration without the need for praise, which makes your generosity feel authentic and mature, and ultimately incredibly attractive. 6. You exude quiet passion and enthusiasm. 6. You exude quiet passion and enthusiasm. Passion is one of the most magnetic qualities a person can possess, but the kind that truly sets a mature man apart isn't loud or over the top. Instead, it's a quiet, steady enthusiasm, a kind of grounded passion that doesn't need to be showcased but radiates from within. This kind of subtle, controlled enthusiasm is highly attractive because it shows you have a deep connection with the things that matter to you, without the need to seek validation or approval from others. It's about having pursuits, dreams, or beliefs that you're genuinely invested in, and this commitment shines through in your demeanor. When you speak about these passions, you do so thoughtfully and deliberately, sharing your excitement without trying to dominate or convince others. It's not performative, it's a reflection of what drives you. To nurture this quiet passion, think about the areas of your life where you feel truly alive, whether it's your career, a hobby, a cause, or a particular life philosophy. Instead of aiming to impress others with your dedication, aim to deepen it for yourself. For example, if you love reading, dive into a variety of genres and authors, not to show off your literary knowledge, but because it genuinely enriches your life. Or, if you're dedicated to fitness or personal growth, make it an integral part of your routine, something you pursue regardless of external recognition. When you live with this kind of quiet passion, people pick up on it. You don't have to constantly talk about it. It's there in the way you move, in the way you approach challenges, and in the enthusiasm that subtly colors your life. This controlled passion is attractive because it speaks to depth. People are drawn to others who are driven by something beyond themselves, who find meaning in their own pursuits and don't rely on anyone else to give them that sense of purpose. So, instead of feeling the need to prove your passion or share it at every opportunity, embrace it as something deeply personal. This kind of quiet enthusiasm creates a mystery and allure. It shows that you're not just going through the motions, but living with intention. And ultimately, that calm, grounded passion not only makes you more appealing, but also brings a richness to your life that others will be curious to explore, naturally pulling them into your orbit. 7. You have a strong relationship with your boundaries. One of the most quietly powerful traits a mature, attractive man can possess is a strong relationship with his own boundaries. Having clear, well-defined boundaries is not only a sign of self-respect, but it also communicates to others that you know your worth, you value your time, and you're selective about who and what you allow into your life. Setting and maintaining boundaries doesn't make you inaccessible. It actually makes you more intriguing and trustworthy. Boundaries show others that you're not easily swayed or controlled by external pressures. This kind of grounded self-assurance is rare and compelling because it signals that you're a man who values his peace, his principles, and his priorities. Boundaries make you someone people respect and are drawn to because they sense you have standards, not just for yourself, but for the people you welcome into your world. Establishing a healthy relationship with boundaries begins with knowing yourself deeply. Start by identifying the things that matter most to you, whether it's your time, your mental space, your personal values, or your energy. Recognize where you've previously compromised yourself or overextended for the sake of others, and learn to guard those areas more intentionally. This doesn't mean putting up walls. It means learning when to say no without guilt and when to assert your needs with confidence. For example, if you're asked to take on additional responsibilities that don't align with your goals or values, practice declining graciously. Boundaries are not about being rigid. They're about respecting your own limits and prioritizing what adds meaning to your life. When you set these boundaries, you may worry at first about disappointing others, but what you're really doing is teaching them to respect you more deeply. People will sense that your time and attention are valuable because you don't give them away freely to everyone and everything. This approach doesn't make you cold or distant. Rather, it makes each interaction with you feel meaningful and intentional. When people see that you honor your own boundaries, they'll be more likely to respect them as well, understanding that your availability is a privilege, not a given. Having a strong relationship with your boundaries doesn't just protect you, it enhances your attractiveness by revealing a deep self-awareness, maturity, and respect for yourself that naturally commands respect from others. And over time, this steady respect for your own boundaries becomes a defining trait that quietly, yet powerfully, draws people to you, creating connections built on genuine understanding and mutual respect.